let's talk about the kind of equality and imbalance between the respective men and women in sports in general. I saw your Netflix special when you won the first gold medal. It kind of appeared as though nothing really changed for your lifestyle. Sponsorships weren't calling, promotion deals and stuff like that. Yeah. You won the second, things changed, but do you think that had that been an American male boxer who won that gold medal, they would have just skyrocketed off the jump?
If an American male boxer had 2 Olympic gold medals right now fighting for an undisputed title within 9 fights, he would be a millionaire. I mean, he would have all the endorsements, all the sponsorships, and I mean, this fight would be on pay-per-view. You know, like if he was a 2-time Olympic gold medalist and you talking about this guy who just came out of the professionals, came out of the amateurs and can take on any fighter. This is like me fighting against Christina Hammer. It's kind of how it was when Canelo decided to take on Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather had the experience. Floyd Mayweather had the belts. Floyd Mayweather was the one who was the reigning champ. And Canelo was new on the block. But he decided, I believe I'm great enough to take on Floyd Mayweather. That's what's going on right now. And he got paid a lot of money for that fight. And it wasn't an undisputed fight. It was just, for the WBC. But just the inequalities of it, I feel like women, I get the respect that the men get. I can say that. But as far as right now for this specific fight, I've gotten everything that I've asked for except one thing. I've got the equal promotion, announcing our fight 2 months before the fight, the press conference, the all access with the 2 episodes. I've gotten all the media attention to help build up this fight. They've given us all that they give to the men for this fight. Only thing that is the difference is the pay.
I wanted to ask about that because I told you before we started that I grew up on the same block as Christina Cruz. And I think she won the Golden Gloves like 10 times. It was around like after she won about 4, I asked her, I was like, yo, like, when are you gonna turn pro? And she would always tell me like, yo, there's no money in the pros for women. How passionate are you about continuing to succeed, and do you hope, with hopes to increase pay grade for female fighters in the future? And do you think that they could potentially reach the point where women are making 8-9 figures on pay-per-view being watched around the world?
I think it's definitely possible for women's boxing. We just have to, the top girls like myself, Katie Taylor, Michaela Mayer, Amanda Serrano, those girls, we have to voice we have to make those small demands. Like me mentioning the Showtime, like you guys only announced my fight 4 weeks before the fight, but you announced, Danny Garcia versus whoever 2 months before. Like, can you guys at least, me just saying that to them, they think about it. And it's sad to say, like, it kind of goes over, sometimes you think that, men don't want to be equal and this and that, but I know for a fact that Showtime respects me. It's just that women's boxing, they never had to do certain things for women's fights, and the fighters that came before me never voiced these things. They may have voiced, we're not getting equal pay, but they didn't voice the small things that lead to equal pay, and equal promotion is one of the big things. You have to give us that same time, give us that same promotion, put that same energy into us that you put into Deontay Wilder versus Fury. Give us that, and then you will see that we do get viewership. People do watch us fight. We do have an audience. So that's something that I, just make the small demands. And I made small demands that women don't even know about, but this is why we're here. That's why this event is so big, because I could have just said, just put us on the main event and let me fight Christina Hammer on a Friday, whatever. I made sure that as each fight, I asked for more and more. And I asked them, hey, of course, pay me a little more, but this fight should be a Saturday night.
Sure. Right.
This is Showtime. This is an undisputed fight. Like, when last time y'all had an undisputed fight on Showtime? Like, talking, like, me saying those small things, like, it's not me bitching about it. You know what I mean? That's me, like, being, like, honest. And then they open their mind up and they're like, wow, she's right.
On that topic, when it comes to making the claim of the GWOAT, greatest woman of all time, that's a big claim to make early on in your career, but with everything you've accomplished in the amateurs and the pros thus far, you have every right to make it. But when people hear that, they do automatically think when it comes to boxing, what about Laila Ali? Now, granted, she had more professional years under her belt than you have, but do you think that you're on the right path to potentially surpass her? And if you guys were to fight both in your primes, same weight class, what do you think the outcome would be?
Well, one, me saying I'm the greatest woman of all time, that's me just saying that I mean, Laila Ali is 40. If she wanted to come out of retirement and fight me and make my claim to be greatest woman of all time to be a loss, you know, she could come back and do that. But when I say I'm the greatest woman of all time, all the women that are active, who are active on BoxRec, cannot beat me.
Got you.
It's crazy because when Muhammad Ali started calling himself the greatest of all time, who was looked at as the greatest before him? Sugar Ray Robinson. You ain't know that, did you?
Yeah, got you.
Okay, Sugar Ray Robinson. But Sugar Ray Robinson embraced Muhammad Ali and told him, hey, if you feel you're the greatest of all time, well, young man, you go out there and you prove it. I'm not going to be upset about you saying you're the greatest of all time. If you out there fighting these heavyweight guys and putting them down quicker than I did or whatever. And then also too, when you talk about, you know, Laila Ali, she was never undisputed. I mean, I'm a 5-time world champion within 8 fights. It's not because women boxing has gotten easier. It's because I've taken these crazy ass challenges against girls who are 17-0, 18-0, 24-0. If people want me to prove that I'm the greatest woman of all time, all right, cool. I'm not gonna stop saying it because they don't believe it, but all I can do is prove it, and that's what I'm doing. When I beat Christina Hammer, who's 24-0 with 11 knockouts, Laila Ali, I believe, is 24-0 too. What is her
24-0, 21 knockouts.
Absolutely. So now we have Christina Hammer, who's 24-0 with 11 knockouts. If I can beat somebody who's 24-0 with 11 knockouts in 9 fights, I think I'm the greatest woman of all time. To become undisputed within 9 fights.
Yeah, before even 10, that's crazy impressive. Yeah.
I think I'm the greatest woman of all time. But, you know, also to bring women's boxing to where it's at, women's boxing has never been this big. And I don't mean that with no disrespect to Layla, Christy, none of them. Women's boxing was not this big.
Not true. Yeah.
You know, and it's because of what I've done. It's not because of me just saying, I'm not just saying I'm the greatest one of all time. Like I said, I was 77-1 in the amateurs. I won the Olympics twice. I won the World Championships twice.
Only man or woman to do that in the United States, yeah. Sure.
Absolutely. So I feel like when you talking about greatest woman of all time, I'm making history constantly, over and over again. So I'm not an average woman fighter, you know, and I open the door to anybody to come and call me out, to face me, and I'll fight anybody to prove that I am the greatest woman of all time, that my claim is real. And just like Christina Hammer, she said, you're not the greatest woman of all time. I say that any woman who said I'm not the greatest woman of all time who's a boxer, if you can beat me, I'm not the greatest one of all time. If I can beat you, you shouldn't say I'm not the greatest one of all time no more because you can't beat me. See, that's the difference with everything, but it's no disrespect to them.